to log in. LP Army will teach you the way to be LP warrior starting to stay. We live for the fees we make. Soon it is profits that you will take. The LP Army marches strong. The best in soul and now we sing our song. We live for the fees we make. Soon it is profits that you will take. The LP Army marches strong. The best in soul and now we sing our song. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic fees, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Thereupon we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Spot, copy, ask, use them all. Winning's the task, we heed the call. Bootcamp, join our ranks so tight. Listen to the Goose Gang and gain your might. We will praise and we will earn. Ways to gain is tokens burn. Join the ranks of the brave and bold. Story of the LP Army told. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic feast, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Thereupon we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Rise. Take the course and earn your role. March with us and earn some soul. Dodge the rug and join the fight. We gain together LP Army might. Make your position and join the pool. Post your wins with Alex's tool. LP Army, we fight to win. Your journey is about to begin. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic feast, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Thereupon we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Take the course and earn your role. March with us and earn some soul. Dodge the rug and join the fight. We gain together LP Army might. Oh.
Welcome everybody to day 2 of the LP Army boot camp. This is boot camp number 14, day 2 in April. Hope everybody was here for day 1 yesterday. Thanks for coming, and let's get this started. So we've got our disclaimer here. This presentation is for informational purposes only. This is not financial advice. We are not financial professionals. So any money you risk, you do so at your own risk. So you invest in anything, that should be money you're willing to lose. So if you don't agree to this, then we'll see you later. And just as a reminder that this course does not grant you any airdrops, meta allocations, NFT, or anything. The reward is the education. So thanks for that. And we will move on. So you, again, like we talked about yesterday, you should, if you're new to this, you should start small. It doesn't require a whole lot to get started. Be prepared to lose. In fact, I would encourage you to lose sometimes, because you're really going to learn from that failure. You know, as a weightlifter, I love failure. You know, that's how I make gains. So any losses, kind of consider that to be your tuition. This is a free course, but you know, any money you spend is yours. And you know, and if you make some wins, don't go in all yet. You know, sometimes you get lucky. So you can gradually move that up. We'll talk more about that later. But as you get better, then step up your investment. And a little bit about me. I am Heavy Metal Cook. I am the Bootcamp moderator. I have a day job as an IT manager. I volunteer in a whole lot of stuff. I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. But I love it. It's what I do. I've been LPing for quite a while. Started out on Ethereum and Avalanche. And then I found Solana, tried several things before I finally found Meteora and landed on it. So anyway, that's me. I'm all about Meteora, cooking, weightlifting, heavy metal. Enough about me. We've got some other instructors with us here today. I'll just pop a handful of them up on stage just for a moment, just so you can see who these guys are. We've got Geek Lad, one of the OG instructors, Alex, creator of Metlex and many other greatness, Magica and Gosha, a couple of our mods and instructors. Thank you guys. They will be here to answer questions in chat. So if you've got a question in chat, feel free to ask during the course, and they will be happy to answer you the best they can. So I'll just do that for now, so it's not cluttered screen. And we're going to move on. So again, use that chat feature. Try and keep your questions concise, to the point. We will do a few different exercises during the course. It's not required for you to do these exercises with me, but it's suggested that you follow along if you're new to this. And of course, I love feedback. While I can't incorporate every possible thing into Bootcamp, I do listen. I make changes to this course based off of feedback that we get. So if you've got something, tell us about it in our Discord, the Meteor or the LP Army Discord. We're happy to make this better for you. And here, these are some additional resources for you. We shared this yesterday. It's the same document. In case you didn't get it yesterday, some additional reading, some communities, tools, Twitter accounts of people who make great content that you might want to follow. So scan this with your phone. If you're on a PC using Chrome, you can use Google Lens to scan this. And I will show this link again later. But yeah, this is some great resources. A lot of extra information there. I'll give this just a couple more seconds before we pop that off. Let's see, Alex, Gosha, Magica. Love you guys. Appreciate you being here today. Okay, so let's move on. So here's our agenda. We're going to talk about some community tools and how to find LPing opportunities. I'm going to cover some very basic chart reading, technical analysis, and some extra strategies. I'm going to demo some stuff live. And then we're going to tell you all about how to graduate this course, earn your LP Army private roles. And of course, we'll give you time for extra questions. So that's what we're planning today. Moving on, these are all the things that you should know by you did. So how to kind of identify some scams, how to protect yourself, how to find some opportunities. Again, we already talked about some of this stuff, advanced strategies, chart reading. We'll cover some community tools and on-chain tools. And we will, of course, LP a bit. So thriving and surviving in LP, you need to set yourself some rules. It's a good idea to use a systematic approach to this. The name of the game is consistency and risk management. You need to find out how much you're willing to lose figure out when you are going to take profit. Know your risk tolerance. Practice. You need to master your feelings. Try not to get emotional about this, because it can be upsetting when you lose. You're bound to lose. Even the best degens sometimes lose. It's how it works, but you will also learn how to win. Work with others, connect with others in the Discord. And LPing is not a zero-sum game. It's PPP, player promote player. So get involved, share. We work together. We all rise together. Okay. So again, what are some of the key tools that you need? On chain, we have things such as rug check and bubble maps, which will demonstrate, find, is there volume, in which pool, is there opportunity? I'm going to show you some community tools such as Metlex, GMGN, some others, and how is it going, measuring profit, these sort of things. It's important to use a lot of these here. So here we're going to talk about first rug check. If you're not familiar with this, you need to use the rug check to make sure a token doesn't have any really bad attributes. Some of these are the things that you may want to look for, whether it's a copycat or only a few own the token. That's a great rug indicator. If a token can be frozen, like you can't sell it, that's very much dangerous, whether it's mintable. Here's a very old example here of one top 10 holders, high ownership. That's not good. Single ownership, 91%. That's Rug City right there. Copycat, so these things I would stay far away from things like that. We're also going to show you bubble maps. Bubble maps, this can show you how a token is distributed amongst all the holders in wallets. Here's just like each one of these bubbles represents a wallet, and ones like this, they are kind of like tied together. So there may or may not be something going on fishy here. We see right here at the top that Radium, this is the Radium pool. So there's 21% of that. And then, well, actually we'll get more in depth in there, but this is you want to be wary of large clusters. And also we'll talk about wash trading here. So wash trading is where bots are generating a bunch of fake volume to perhaps attract others. So like you can see this consistent amount of volume, and then you see this like right here where it died. That's probably where their bot quit or something, and then it picked back up, and you can see these periods of this wash trading. So yeah, you can still earn fees doing this token, but this is a very, very high indicator of a rug. They're generating this fake volume to try and get people to buy, and then they sell off on you. It usually is just happening with new tokens, but it can happen with old ones, and they tend to rug very quickly. So yeah. And I see that Photon Magic made it today. Welcome here, brother. He was your instructor for day one, and he's here to help out again today. So some community tools for finding LP opportunities. The LP Army Discord, which is our new Discord for the community. There's several things in there that you will find. We have a DLMM ops bot. It gives you a bunch of information about stuff like this top 10 non-strict list, as in not Jupiter, on the Jupiter strict list. It'll tell you about the estimated 24-hour fees, the volume, the trend, the market TVL, and this individual, these are specific pools. So it's telling you what the bin step is for that pool and the base fee and whether or not it passed a rug check. So that's a bot that runs, and there is a, you can use the help command to get a list of commands supported in that bot channel. And then there's a multi-day ops. This is kind of like, because a lot of tokens are only good for about a day or two. Some tend to go even longer. So this is something that, you might find will work for more than one day. Of course, always do your own research here. The Metlex terminal, telling you about new DLMMs that is found. It's giving you some information here. Here's the CA for that token, whether or not it's on the Jupiter free list, whether or not this token is freezable or mintable, just some of the basic rug check information. You watch out, it'll tell you, like this particular one right here, this token is mintable. This is all rug check information here. So this may be one that you may want to stay away from. So these are just a handful of the tools available to you in the LP Army Discord. And we also have here in that Discord LP calls. So this is a place where we have something called alpha callers, really good degens. They've done some research, pulled up tokens that they think, hey, this may be a good opportunity, and they'll start a whole thread about it where there can be discussion. And again, as a reminder, just because someone posted something and just because they're an alpha caller doesn't mean they're perfect. You should do your own research on anything before you enter it. Don't assume that something is safe to use. So this is a great place, though, especially if you're not good yet at finding your own opportunities in the wild. This is a great place to work together and find some good opportunities to going. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Metlex terminal. This is an outstanding tool. It's being developed. Man, it seems like it's been over a year, and it's just grown and grown and grown. There's so many different things in here, and I can't possibly cover them all. There is the fees tab. It'll check all your wallet for all your fees that you've ever earned, ever. That can take a while. The P&L, this is one of the most popular things. You generate a profit and loss card. You can check to see how you did on a specific position. We can show more about that later. A lot of things. And actually, let me pop that up, the demo here. Give me just a second. Pull that up. And we'll stop sharing that screen. And we'll go with that one right there. So let me full screen this. Here we go. Okay. So as I said, you can put a transaction here and do that. That's great. This particular thing will come back to degen pools, actually the top 100. All right. This is a great place to start. So top 100 DLMMs by today's fees. You have a bunch of filters here that you can show. You could say, hey, only show me 5% or greater, 2%, 1%. And you can filter by the volume. Let's see. Let's just check 1 hour. You don't have to do any of these. You can just go. But let's take a look and see at this here. We can see a bunch of information here. Links to the 2 tokens for GMGN or 8 Pro. It's listing how many fees for today or the last 24 hours. The TVL, the volume, the bin step and the base fee, of course, and the market cap. Pay attention to that. And then you see here information about the price change. So in green, these are all the transactions by 24 hours, 6 hour, 1 hour, 5 minutes. These are the buys. These are the sells. And this tells you the net price change for each of these things. And of course, if you want to buy the token, there's a link directly here to Jupe, or the LFG button that'll take you straight into that pool. If you want to say, hey, this one looks good, I'm going to go hop on that one. So you kind of like look here, what looks good, what's earning the fees, what's got a nice amount of volume to it over the TVL. I mean, I want to see, generally, I want to see more volume than I do TVL, right? Because it means that pool's turning over. It's getting a lot of action. If you see more TVL than you do volume, then there's not a whole lot happening. Like this particular one here, I could see the 24-hour volume is 72,000, but the TVL is 98,000. It's not earning a whole lot of fees right now. And of course, this is a high bin step, high base fee pool. That may be why, but there's a lot of information here that can help you pick something. And tell you what, let me see about copying a CA here. Let me just get the CA for Floki. This is going to take me out to GMGN. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go to DEX. So here under DEX, you can search by 1 or 2 tokens, but I'm going to put this token address in here. And here, man, I love this. Alex is always adding stuff. This is new. The creator of this particular token has a history of creating rug tokens. Man, that's beautiful. So maybe this is not one you want to do. That's kind of like danger, but we're going to just look at this anyway. There's a lot of buttons here. It'll take you straight to the bubble maps, the rug check, Jupiter. You can create a DLMM pool. It'll take you straight to that link. I don't recommend you create pools until you understand this a whole lot better, but also dynamic pools. So here you can see this is across multiple dexes, right? So we can see right here, this is off of Pump Swap, Pump.fun, Meteora pools, Meteora pool. And let me actually get a different CA here. Let's go back to this and go on. Oh yeah, the Trump. So let's grab the CA for that. Okay, back on DEX. Okay. So we can see here, like here's a radium pool, Meteora pools. It tells you whether it's DLMM or not, Orca, radium. So this is what the idea here is. You can just kind of see how it is looking across the market. This is obviously a very popular token. It's everywhere. So you can see what's happening out there. And then let's see, we're going to go to the pools tab, DGen pools. I'm going to put that CA back in here. And more information here. You can see here, like here's a link to this particular pool. Take you straight into charts. You've got your rug check and I guess a snipe button. If you're wanting to buy GMGN, that's there. Again, more information about the token. Let's see here. Okay, I want to get over here to the magical tab. This is one of my favorites. And I'm going to show you why here. You can define the minimum bin step for pools that you want to look at, max bin step. I'm going to go with a minimum of 20 and a max bin step of 250 just for fun. Minimum base fee, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to change the max base fee. Minimum TVL. Let's say I want to only show me pools with at least $20,000 in TVL. And here, this button, only strict. This is, again, the Jupiter strict list. If you uncheck that, it'll only show you what's on the strict list. If you want to see everything, all rugs, check that box right there. And then we'll click the rocket to go. This does take slightly longer to load because it is loading beautiful charts from GMGN. So you can see things all in one place. Of course, you can change the box size on these things, how you want it to fit on your screen. But you can do some just, hey, what looks good? Or, oh, that looks like it's rugging. Like this Sol USDC, you can see what's happening there. This one right here, it looks like it's on its way down. So yeah, you chart right here. You can even add charting tools if you like right here in the deal. I think a lot of it is similar to some of the other things where it's telling you the fees and the TVL and the bin step and the base fee or whatever. But this is a great way to look at what's out there, what's active, what's hot, based upon whatever criteria you want to define. Obviously, if you clear this out, it's going to show you a lot more, maybe some smaller pools. But yeah, this is a great way to find this. And you can go straight into that pool from here. Like we'll just go straight into Fartcoin and see what's happening on it. So that's some of that. Going to move back up here to the very top of the page, the Metlex trenches. This is a little bit newer tool. So it's showing you the top 500 pairs, 24-hour volume, 173 million, and the amount of fees. So that's what this top 500 are showing us, what's going on. The bin step, the fee, how much liquidity, how much fees in the last 30 minutes, which you can sort this list by, the APR, 30-minute volume, and so on and so forth. The little leaves right here is it's like a Jupiter score. So, you know, you can use this like here. Let's go look at our stocks. And no risk detected on this particular coin. Obviously, there's no risk on Sol, and that's as in like rug check, if you will. A lot more information here. It's growth metrics, so you can see the changes in volume, fee rate, volume rate, so on, and then more volume analytics, the cumulative, what's been going on, fees. You could sit here and play with this for quite a while. So I can't go into every single detail of it. Play with this. This is a really awesome tool. And you will see here the LP performance. Estimated APY is listed as exceptional. The fee rate, fee over TVL ratio, exceptional. An estimated APR, 24-hour volume. So here he's marking this as a premium opportunity, exceptional fee generation, and so on. So a ton of information here. Let's see. Let's look at this one, see if it tells us. Exceptional, exceptional. Imagine a lot of these are going to be exceptional. They're warnings, potential opportunity. Yeah. Consider the risk reward profile with 0.01 APR. So this one is not going to earn you a whole lot, probably. So hopefully all of that stuff makes sense. Okay, Alex, first time you see that. Okay, whatever, dude. Anyway, that is a lot of what Metlex does. Let's see. Let's get a wallet address here. And we're going to go and look at this particular tool, the deal minimum position checker. Drop a wallet address in there. And then I can see I've only got one in this particular wallet going on right now. This pool from yesterday, I've just got one position. If you had multiple positions, it would show you all the positions together, and you can expand it. It'll show you all your positions on one page that you have in a particular wallet, and it's telling you all kinds of information, what you've claimed, token prices, what your position looks like. This is how my liquidity is shaped. This is how the liquidity in this particular range is shaped for everybody else. So this is everybody else's liquidity, and this is my liquidity right here. So yeah, this is a great way to track everything that you've got in one place. So I love that. It's pure greatness. Okay, so let's move on here and go back to our presentation. All right. So what's next? Now we're going to talk about some chart reading. Fun. So it's important to understand a little bit about charts, understand volume and the market cap. Does it look like a token is on its way up? Is it on its way down? Is it going to go side to side? Talk about how to select a range and choosing the right pool based on these factors. Again, I love this. We'll see this GMGN, a lot of information here about what's going on. We can see in the last 1 hour, this particular token had gone up 48%. And I'll show you this stuff live. We're just going to move on straight from here. So here's some technical analysis indicators that you can use for this. The MACD indicator, it's got a bunch of lines on this. What you're looking for here on this particular tool, you can see down at the bottom, the green and the red kind of peaks. As a token has been going up, you will get dark green. That's the trend. It's going up. And as that trend starts to wane or go down, it starts to turn kind of a light green. And same with the red, dark red means it's on a serious downtrend. And that trend is slowing as it's turning red. The bigger the peaks, the higher the pump or the dump. Now you can see here where this blue line, it crosses the orange line. You can see whenever it crossed below the line, that means it go down. When it crosses above, it go up. So it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with the trends. The RSI indicator, it's really kind of just showing you whether or not a token is kind of overbought or oversold. So you've got the median line here at 50, the bottom at 30, the top at 70. So whenever a token goes above the 70 line, it generally means that a token is overbought and that it's probably primed to be go back down to be sold. And whenever it dips below the line, maybe it's a bit oversold and it might be ready to go back up at that point. So it's a suggestion of a potential reversal. I'm going to demo all these all at once, but we're going to keep going here. And then this is not really a the Heiken Ashy candles. So this is just changing your candles. What we see on this here is, these are regular candles here on the top. We're all familiar with these, the green and the red with the little wicks where it's dipped, but this is where it ended within that time frame. Heiken Ashley candles trim some of that off, and you notice how the chart is very similar, but it's a little bit different. Like you see these little bits of green here, but you don't see it here. This is showing you more of the trend. There's less wicks here. So whenever you don't see these bottom wicks so much, it's kind of an indicator of an uptrend here. Same with on the red, you don't see the top wicks. That means that thing really is going down. If you're seeing some wicks here, there's a little bit more fluctuation there, but you don't have to use this, but I do like it because it is kind of showing me what the trend tends to be more with that. And then the volume profile visible range. Beautiful thing. And again, we'll show this live. The yellow is the sell volume. The blue is the buy volume. And really, it's just kind of showing you where the volume has been happening. And of course, this is going to depend on whatever you have the chart set to, whether it's a 1 minute, 5 minute, 4 hours, so on and so forth. It's going to show you where the majority of the volume of this token has been happening. And so you see here, there was a whole lot of volume down here in this particular range right here, right? You see buckets of it. Not quite so much volume right here. And then it started to pick back up in this area right here. As an LPer, you want to get the most volume, right? Because without volume, you're not earning fees. So you may want to set a range where all that volume's happening. So me, for example, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, well, it looks like the most of the volume is happening from here. Whoops, I didn't mean to click. From here to about right here. So maybe that's where I want to set my range because I want to capture that volume. I'm not too worried about these little spikes up here. There's not a whole lot of volume there, so I probably won't even bother setting up liquidity out there because I'm just spreading it out. So yeah, let's see. Okay, no big questions going on. Again, we will demo all of that here in a second, actually, and we'll demo all of that right now. So we'll bring this window back up. So let's see. I'm going to start with this token right here, our stocks. I've got my Heiken Ashley candles. So you could see here, there was a nice pump going up and a little bit of downtrend right here. It may reverse. We could see here on the RSI, that pump right there, that was a bit of an overbuy and it definitely corrected. Now it's trending back down. It's getting real close to that 30 line, which may mean that, hey, it's might be selling too much and it may be going for a reversal. We will see. But again, we see our indicators here, and I'm looking at a 5-minute chart. If I was to LP this, I might want my range from here to here. And actually, I'm going to switch this. I was looking at the USD price. I'm going to change this to the SOL price. So let's see here. What is the tool that I want here? Always find it. Not that one. Not that one. Here we go. Little price range tool here. So let's just say that I don't think this is going to go back down. It actually looks like it's headed down, but let's say that it wasn't. If I was going to select my range, let's say that I'm basing that off of this volume right here. So I can see here's the price of the top, and then there's the price on the bottom. So I may want to set my range in the pool for that price range right there. That's a handy way to look at that. So yeah, again, you can use whatever charting tool that you like, whatever makes you happy. There's a ton of different things out there to look for. I like to bookmark some of my favorites here: the MACD, the RSI, and the volume profile visible range. You can tool around with a lot of these. There's so many. I don't even know what most of them are, but you can bookmark these things and show that right there. Let's see. All right, I haven't missed any questions so far. Let me show you some of the other great things here. I love personally using GMGN. Every pool has a lot of choices. Bird Eye, Gecko Terminal, Dex Screener, Dex Tools, whatever you're comfortable with. My personal preference is GMGN, and one of the reasons for that is that GMGN is not showing me just the chart for one specific pool on Meteora. This is an accumulation of the entire market. So it's showing, this is basically what's happening across all markets, all dexes out there. And you'll even see these trades. Here's all the trades that are happening, real time. This is not just one particular pool. It's all of them. So anyway, let me show you some of the other great things about GMGN that will help keep you safe, give you an idea of what to do and what to use. Here we see our security audit is checking for different areas. This token is not mintable. It's not on a blacklist. There is liquidity burnt. That's a good indicator. If there's no liquidity, or I didn't mean to say that. The top 10, sorry, guys, flustered this morning. Blue chip, this will show you an indicator of the ratio of holders who also own blue chips tokens. Only 0.8%, so that's not so great. Show you some information about the snipers, the first 70 buyers, whether or not they held, whether or not they sold, they sold part of it. Again, you've got a whole lot of stuff going on here. You can see what the dev did. What did the dev do? When did the dev buy? When did they sell? They migrated. That's when the token migrated. I'm not seeing here where the dev has sold. Blue chip owners, only 29. You can see what they're doing. Smart contracts, KOLs. You see who's in this and who isn't. This time, just look at some bubble maps, I think. And that is right down here. It's not labeled. It just, these little bubbles. Okay, so here's the bubble maps, and this shows me the distribution of this token amongst wallets out there. The top one only holds 7%. That's okay. Things above 20, 25, that you may want to be a little bit cautious of that, because if they dump, it can have some serious impact on the price. And then you see the rest of these wallets. One thing that I like to look for is if a whole bunch of these top wallets all hold the exact same amount, that could be an indicator of, a rug, like they're working together and they may drop. These wallets right here are tied together in some particular way, but it's not massive clusters. So this one, I'm okay with this one. Let me show you some other examples of bubble maps that don't look so good. So right here, this Bliss whatever, and this one is stay far, far away from this token. You see one wallet right here holds 57%. And then all these wallets right here, they're all tied together. And you can see these consistent numbers, 74%, 74, 74. All of these wallets are tied together. This is Rug City. Stay away from that token. Here's another one, AF, whatever this is. And again, high ownership here at 33%. Bunch of wallets tied together, bundled together. This one doesn't look good. I would stay away from this particular token. Let's see this Pepe coin, which is, looks like it pumped a little bit and then went back down. Let's look at this bubble map. And again, man, there's some shenanigans going on here. It's 24%. All this going on. This one, it doesn't look good to me either. I don't like it. I would stay away from that one. Loading here. High ownership. There's a lot that it's spread out here. A little bit tied together, not too much. But this one right here, that's just way too high. To me, that says that guy is just waiting to rug on everybody. And here's a token called Bubble. Okay, so here you've got some distribution. Top wallet, 19%. That's not too bad. But you don't see a whole lot of bundling going on here. So this one might be okay. It's not too bad. So I probably, whoa, there we go. You can have fun with these. So that one may not look so bad. Of course, you've got some other indicators that you want to look at, not just the bubble maps, but here you can see GMGN. It's showing the dev, when the dev sold, when the dev bought, when it migrated, the pool graduated off of Pump Fun onto this particular one. If I was going to LP this one, which I'm not, I may want to set my range, probably go right about here. You can see this particular one, it's definitely been overbought. It's going to come back down. So I might want to set my range probably from about here and go above just a little bit. I'd probably want to set my range somewhere around there, capture some volumes. I know it's going to downtrend. And this particular one, I may actually set up a one-sided SOL-only bid-ask to capture that, because this one really does look like it's going to come back down. So yeah, I'm going to move back to this particular token here. So we see what's happening on it. It's getting real close to that line. Came back up just a hair. It may be slowing down on its sell. We see over here what's happening in the last 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, and 24 hours. the number of buys, sells. So we see here the net buy. This is a great indicator right here, the net buy number. When that is really high one direction or another, that kind of tells you the trend. The closer it is to zero, the more side to side it is, or even a reversal. This one, it's not too bad. 10K, as considering the market cap here is 100 or 406K. So yeah, we could go on really all day on GMGN. There's so many different information tools, things you can do. When you buy a token, it'll show you when you bought, when you sold on this chart. So yeah, let's see. Have I missed anything? Hopefully I'm. Oh yeah. Volume profile visible range. That is the name of that tool. And I'll just show you here. So functions, volume profile visible range. That's what that is. And I actually put it on there twice. So make it go away. And just come right here. And of course, you may have to search for it. You may not have it bookmarked already. And there you go. You've got it there. Now, one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind when you're looking at charts for brand new tokens, it's really hard to do a technical analysis on a fresh token because there's just not much historical data there. So part of it is just kind of guessing. What you're looking for is trends. Let's see. Let's find something that's a little bit fresher. Okay. Oh man, that one is nasty. Let's stay away from that one. Okay. This one, Arctic Fox AF. I don't like it. It looks bad to me. It looks like this thing is running to zero. But if I was LPing this one, I would not be looking to get in here at this top. It got way overbought. And of course, it dumped like mad. Let me find a better example here. That was kind of nasty too. Just go back. And I did bookmark these, by the way. You can GMGN if you want to keep track of something. You just mark this, and boom, it lands in your list right here. So yeah, okay. So I'm just watching this one. It looks like it may be getting ready to reverse. And I may want this particular range right here. Let me draw a new one. Let's see. I think my top is going to be about right there. Click. So the bottom looks like 3-1 and the top 5-8. I'll go in here to Bartcoin. Connect my wallet. Let me actually get the CA for this. And while I'm here, I might as well do my due diligence, right? Rug check it. Name mismatch, symbol mismatch. Maybe this is not a good idea. Who knows? But I'm just going to, for the sake of showing you how I would set this position up. See, what did I say before? What was I at? Here we go. Oh, it was R stocks. That was what I was after, not fart coin. Pay attention, HMC. There we go. R stocks. All right. So again, which pool do we choose? This pool right here, the 400 bin step, 5% fee. This was probably created whenever this token very first launched. That's very quite common that you will see the high bin step, high fee percentage. It's capturing because in the beginning, when there's not too many liquidity pools, fresh rugs, you want to capture as much as you can, and you can get away with the high fee, high bin step. So you're able to go pretty wide as well as capture massive fees over time. As things slow down or as more pools are generated, you may need to move into a lower bin step, lower fee in order to remain competitive with the market. So you can see that's really kind of exactly what happened here. Things probably started out in one of these two right here. And then a lot have moved here to the lower bin step and the lower fee. It's still capturing. We can see here the dynamic fee, not too bad right here. Our base fee is 2, right? But we've got a dynamic fee of 3.68. That means this thing is volatile. Remember, the dynamic fee is based on its volatility. I'm going to do a quick rug check on this particular token, see what's going on. Oh, rug check says it's good. Beautiful. I love that. I'll see if bubble maps will load on this one. Hello. Okay, here we go. So we've got top holder here. This is only 10%. There's a little bit of transfers going in between a couple wallets, but not too many. The distribution seems what I might call organic. It's nothing, it doesn't look too sketchy. So, yeah, this one's not bad. What did we say for our range here? The bottom at about 3.1 and the top at about 5.8. I hope I'm not losing you guys jumping around like this. But let's add some liquidity. Now, do we want to go one-sided or we want to go two-sided? Again, this thing is looking on its way down, or it's been on its way down. Maybe it's going to come back up. What do you guys think in chat, or maybe what some of my other instructors think? Should we go one-sided or two? And the great and mighty Lex says two-side for this shit, sir. So that's what we're going to do. I agree. So I need to get some. All right. So we're going to use our handy Jupiter swap here. And I'm going to go really small because I'm just demonstrating for you guys here. I'm just going to do 0.1 sol. It doesn't really matter. Make my swap. And close that. Go away. Now we're ready to add liquidity. Okay. So now what we need to do is decide on our strategy. You see here, this is everybody else's liquidity here going on. You don't see a whole lot of bid ask. This looks a lot like spot going on here. Let's look at this chart once again. Yep, see some up and down. So tell you what, let's go with a base layer of spot. So I'm just going to do, let's just do 50%. All right. And then we wanted to define our range here again. Hopefully we can define our range within this particular one. So 3, 1. 3, 1. All right. And then the top of our range was 5, 8. And that's what would give you that. That's how we define that range. We think we're going to get more pump than we are going to get dump here. So I'm going to add some liquidity just like that. Oh, exceeded bin slippage tolerance. Oh, noes. So I'm going to increase my liquidity slippage here. I'm at 10%. Close, close. Try this again. That was a great example from yesterday how liquidity slippage matters. I increased it and it went right in. Now, do I want to do a bid ask here? I like the bid ask. I want to sell more of this at higher prices. And looking at that chart, it may be primed to come up quite a bit. What's our chat think? And we will do a one side here. I'm going to show you that on another exact. So I'm going to go and add a bit of bid ask to this. Right here. I'm going to put the rest of it in just like this. Don't rug soul here. All right. So I'm going to put in just my stock here. There we go. So now we have, and I think Geek Lad likes to call this the toothpaste tube strategy. And we'll talk about that more here in a bit. But yeah, there we go. We've got it. We can see we've already got some fees in the R stocks. I got those fees because the token went down a little bit. When it starts to pump back up, we'll get some fees in Sol. So yeah, we're sitting here, 100 bin step. It's not the biggest, it's not the smallest. A lot of times it's a fairly nice little place to stay. We can see already this is starting to calculate around 40%. It's going to go up and down. This is based off of my liquidity here in this particular pool, the return. We can see here the 24-hour fee. This is really high. Looking at the total value locked here, I suspect that a bunch of degens have recently pulled out of this pool, and that's why this percentage is so high. That's why it doesn't match what I'm getting right here. And this number is going to change a lot initially right after you first deposited. It's going to take a bit for it to get to the right number. So yes, please, let's pump it. Someone pump it. Give me some soul. I'm ready for some soul. It's not pumping. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys something else here. I didn't show the portfolio yesterday. Really quick. This is a great place to see all of your stuff all in one place. I've got some deal-em-in pools. I've got a couple dynamic pools, and I even have some money out here on a farm. It shows that separately. If you use stake to earn, it'll show there as well. You can show just the type that you want to see, or you can show all. Okay, so now I think I've got some other things to show. We've got about an hour left. Present, share screen. Let's go back to here. Okay. So again, here we're going to talk about some of our advanced strategies. Shoot. Wait a second here. Okay. So one-sided strategies, combination strategies, things for long-term, short-term. Here is one example of a position did long time ago. It was one-sided, only sold. There was a very small layer of spot added in here because I wanted to still earn some fees down here. I could have just done a pure bid ask, but I didn't. I did a little stack. But you notice how there's nothing over here. Did one-sided, but I left room in the position. And there's a reason why I did that. Because as that token went down and I earned the fees in this particular coin, Lucy, I decided that I wanted to compound the Lucy back into the position, and I put it in as a bid ask. So I said, I want to sell these fees at higher than what I got them at. So this was why I left that room open to do that. Not everybody really does this. It's one thing that you can do. There's other ways to go about it. But that's one strategy. The toothpaste tube strategy, as Geek Lad likes to call it. He's got this base layer of spot. He set up this bid ask here, kind of like squeezing all the toothpaste out of the tube. As that price of this pumps up again, you are getting more you're selling the token at higher prices, or more of it at higher prices than you are at low prices. The bid ask chill, it's really just kind of a two-sided bid ask. While you won't earn a whole lot in this area, this one was set up by Mario. He was expecting some wild swings here, and he was wanting to buy more of it at lower prices and sell more of it at higher prices. He went kind of wide on this one, kind of as a long term. He didn't want to necessarily watch this one, so it's a long term position there. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, yeah, I did. Lucy did wreck some soul there. Alex, did you, or not Alex, Geek Lad, did you want to elaborate on your toothpaste tube strategy at all?
Oh,
Yep,
yeah. Yeah, basically as the price moves up, what I'll do is I'll remove all the liquidity and then place back in a new spot layer, and then another bid ask, right? So basically as you DCA in, you accumulate more of it, then you can put it back out into a spot, and then that way, if the price recedes, if it retreats, goes back the other way, you'll you'll have more that you would have acquired at a higher price, and
right,
and it kind of even things out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so more on DLMM strategies. You can remix things. This one is a favorite little thing UN put out there a long time ago. Do this when price dumping. So what he did is he's got a one-sided soul only bid ask. So when the price is dumping, set it up this way. When the price is dumping, flip it over, put only the meme coin or whatever it is that you've got in a one-sided bid ask. very simple. I mean, the concept is really, again, buy low, sell high, right? This is very effective. Of course, you're dependent upon that price continuing to pump here. That's when you have to use your TA and your knowledge of when you think that thing is going to make that reverse and come back up. Here's an old example here of a token called Billy. Right here, it looked like the token was ready to come back down. So he opened up a one-sided bid ask, 100% sold. And he set his range to right here, right? From here to here. And as this token, it went up and down. He got some fees along the way. Whenever it reached right down here at the bottom of his range, he said, okay, I'm going to withdraw all my liquidity. I've got 100% Billy. And he reopened the one-sided bid ask using the same range. Okay. So he didn't close that position. He just withdrew and flipped it over and set it up here at the top. And he waited for the token to pump. It did some sideways moving, up and down, up and down. And then whenever it reached the very top, he's 100% in profit because now he's got all soul again. So this is it's actually quite simple, very effective. It's a very common strategy used by a lot of degens. Of course, things don't always happen that way. They don't always pump, but it's a great strategy to use. I love it particularly. So now we're going to talk more about dealing with impermanent loss. What can you do when you have impermanent loss or you're out of range? There's several things that you can do. One, you can just simply wait, sit on that. If you think that token price is going to come back, then just don't do anything. Be patient, be zen. And again, you have to look at that chart. You have to tell, yeah, that thing is it's oversold a little bit. It's going to come back, or I think it's going to come back. Maybe the socials look good, or other things may look good. It's going to come back. Just be patient. Do nothing. You can open a one-sided bid ask at a lower price range, hoping to capture enough fees to offset your losses, which I'm actually going to demonstrate here in a minute. You can just take the loss and reposition your liquidity. If you think you can capture enough fees in a new range to recover the losses from the first position, then go for it. Again, when you withdraw, when you're in impermanent loss and you withdraw, you are making those losses permanent. Now, can you overcome them and recoup them? Yes, but a loss is a loss. If you can overcome it, great. But that is realizing that. And then you can simply quit before it gets even worse. Withdraw and sell before the price gets even lower. And this is part of what I was talking about in the very beginning about managing your emotions. I don't like to sell at a loss. I don't like to lose. I can hang on to thoughts and prayers and hopes that it'll come back down, but I need to face reality sometimes. I need to know, you know what? This thing, it's rugging, it's on its way down. I don't think there's any chance of this thing coming back. Is it better to sell something at, say, a 25% loss than a 75 or 100% loss? Yes. I'd rather have half a soul than 0.1 soul, right? So sometimes that's simply what you need to do is just take the L and get out. You can see here, these right here got several positions set up and it's gone down. Well, if it's gone all the way down below all my positions, I can set up a one-sided bid ask, and I'm hoping that's going to back. And I'm actually going to show you guys that here. right now. So let me just switch screens. Share window. There we go. Okay. So right here, fart coin, I'm out of range. I haven't earned very much on this. This is actually one from yesterday that I had bought. And then I set up this one-sided bid ask to hopefully sell. But I'm below my range now. What do I do? Well, here's an example of what you can do. Is you can set up a one-sided bid ask. And again, I'm going very small because I don't actually love this token. This is just for the example for here, right? So one-sided bid ask. I'm going to set this up. I'm going full range just because I actually haven't done TA on this. This is just a demo of what you can do. Now, I've got that set up in a pure bid ask, no spot. And I'm hoping that it's going to come down and back, and then I'm going to get enough fees in this area in order to recoup my losses here, right? I didn't really earn very much on this particular token. So that's what I'm hoping for. This is one way to mitigate loss. It does work. It doesn't always work, because what happens if this thing just dumps, keeps going, and it just goes even below that? Yeah, you can set up another bid ask and just keep going. You can follow it all the way down, or you can not. You can quit. But this is one way that you can do that. Let's see. We have any questions here? Oh, this one right here. For toothpaste strategy, do we need to open 2 or more positions on the same pool, or just one? It's that strategy is within a single position. It's just strategies are stacked. So it's a mix of spot and a mix of, with bid ask on it. So like, again, you've got a position, you can add liquidity on top with some other shape that you like. Like if I want to put in some curve here, I totally can. I can make it look like that if I wanted. Oh, that's nasty. I can shape this up however I want. I can make all kinds of funky things, right? So yeah, that's how that works, is you're stacking it. Let me see if I can find this. On volatile tokens, sometimes a warning message is displaying that the pool price is some percentage different than the real price. If on the GMGA AI graph the price is outside my position range, does that mean I'm out of my Meteora position and the UI is just lagging? Well, let me find one of these and I'll show you exactly what it means actually. That's not what I want. Let me go back here. I'm going to click right here to show me all our stocks pools. Let's see. I bet you this one is out. And it's not. I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Here we go. Pool price is different from estimated market price. I believe this is what Ring is asking the question about. So it's saying the pool price is greater than 5% different than an estimated market price by Jupiter. Okay. Adding liquidity may incur a loss due to arbitrage trades. You can try to sync with Jupiter's price, but please verify that the pool price is acceptable before adding liquidity. What this means is this pool price is not the same as it is out on the rest of the market. So if you were to add liquidity here, you may incur losses due to arbitration. The price of the pool, for it to move with the rest of the market, is dependent upon there being liquidity in that price range. Okay. That's one factor here. If there isn't the tokens in the particular bins in that specific price range, then no trades can happen and it's not going to move. The other thing that can be caused by that is a low amount of liquidity. Like there's not enough, the trades aren't happening here. Part of the reason why it's also not happening here is that this is a very high bin step pool, right? This is 400 bin step. It takes more movement in the market for this to move from one bin to the next. Because it's so high bin step, low amount of TVL, not trades are going through this, so it's not keeping up with the rest of the market. So while that may be kind of normal on brand new rugs with a high bin step and fee, and that I don't really worry about so much because it will correct itself. If you're looking at a pool where it's like that, it could be very bad for you to deposit there. Let's see. Let me find an example of where this would be a bad idea. There's no TVL in this pool. The 250 bin step, 5%. This one's just not being used. And you notice down here, there's nothing. There's no liquidity down here. So this thing cannot move. And we see here, its pool price is stuck at 198 blah blah, and the market price is this 4. So if I was to put money in here right now, somebody would get some really good trades really cheap, and I would lose a whole bunch of money doing that. Now, if you're convicted on using a pool like this and you want to sync that price, there's a button right here. It only shows up when there's no liquidity at all between the current price and the pool price. So you can hit this button if it exists to sync with Jupiter's price, and it'll move it for you without any liquidity being in place. So now this one is resynced, and you can deposit here and not lose out to arbitration immediately. If that's not there, that's not an option. What you can do is you can deposit very tiny bits of liquidity, and I mean very tiny, just to make that arbitration happen and for it to move. I don't really mean to go on long about this, but this is something important because we do see this from time to time. People say, hey, I deposited into a pool and I very instantly, all my soul got turned into some shit coin and I got a terrible price at it, whatever. And it's, you need to be paying attention to what this is. And Magica did add something here that I think is important to say. Oops, that one, it didn't go. Where'd it go? There we go. Sometimes it's just a UI delay. Jupe is faster, but yeah, that's what that is. And again, I would tell you guys, especially whenever you're new to this, when you're looking at pools to LP with, when you're looking at these here, these with next to no liquidity or no liquidity at all, there's probably a very, very good reason for that. It's not a good pool. or that pool has now been worn out. Like I said, this thing probably started with this pool right here, the 405 or the 125 and the 5, and then it's been moving to these others. Is there. So anyway, see, let me get back on track here. Where was I? Oh, we were talking about dealing with impermanent loss. So we did that one-sided bid ask. We can simply wait. Reposition. I actually don't reposition very often. I tend to either wait, do the one-sided bid ask, or I just quit and call it a day, sell and move on to the next token. Highest bin step is 250. No, the highest bin step possible is 400. They go all from 1 all the way up to 400. There's like 1 bin step, 2 bin step, 5. I think there's an 8, 16. Anyway, you'd have to look at the create pool to look and see what the different options are. Of course, it's all dependent upon the base fee. Again, don't create pools until you know what you're doing. All right. Okay. Yes, the maximum number of bins you can have is 69 on a particular position. Okay. Let's go back to our presentation. All right. All right. So what to do with earned fees? You can claim them. Like I showed earlier, you can claim and compound back into the position, usually just like the one token that you weren't wanting to keep. Like if I'm saying I'm doing SOL in some meme coin, I'm not compounding my SOL that I've earned back into that position. I'm just putting the meme coin in there because I want to keep my SOL. I don't want that meme coin. So I may compound it back into that position. Frequently, I'll use the bid ask for that. You can open a new position at a price range higher than your current one with just say the meme coin that you're wanting to sell. So again, you're just hoping that, hey, it's going to pump and it's going to sell at that higher price. You know, that may work out for you. I've had it work out for me, and I made even more profit by setting it, hey, again, buy low, sell high, right? So I set it up to that higher price and sold it in that bid ask in a second position. Another thing that you can do, and a lot of DGens like to do this, is sell that token that you're not wanting to keep immediately, locking in profits. So like this particular one here, Ron, say, and this is not really much worth claiming, but it's a very small position. It's earned a little bit in Ron. You could claim that and sell that immediately, locking in that profit. And that idea here is I'm making sure that I've got money right here at this price. If I sell it right here, it's going to be worth $1.29. If this price comes all the way down to here and I wait till then to sell it, then it's worth a lot less, right? So it's not as much profit. So that's something that some people like to do, is occasionally take that and sell that token and they lock in that profit. And what some people like to do is they just wait. They sit on all of these fees. They're hoping that when they claim it later, they just sell it later at a higher price. You know, they don't DLMM out or DCA out. They don't sell it through the DLMM. They just sell it on Jupiter at a higher price when the token rises. That's what you can do with those. And let me actually go into a little bit more demo there of that. Switch, here we go. share. I'm going to go back to my portfolio. Let's see what's going on here with our stocks. Okay, so I've got 8 cents in unclaimed swap fees. Got still got a little bit of volatility on this thing. It's doing some pumpy pump, right? That's beautiful. I could claim this and I could sell these right away. I could claim and I could compound. I'm just going to go ahead and claim. It's not really worth claiming at this tiny amount, but I want to demo this for you guys. Claim. Okay, great. So now I've got a little bit of this right here, right? So here's one option. I toss it in here in a bid ask. This is so small you can't even really see it, but I could add it this way. I could create a brand new position and I could just set it in. I'm higher, right? Or actually I'm going from the current price point up. What I could do actually is set this to even higher. Let's say that I want to go 1, right? So here I would be setting this out of range. And just for giggles, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's say I want to only go 15% higher. Okay, so we can see I created this position and it's out of range, right? I'm hoping that this token pumps eventually into here and it's going to sell all my fees at a higher price and I'll earn fees on top of that along the way. And I see some pumpy. This is nice. I like it. I love it whenever it demos this way. We may actually make enough for a piece of bubble gum today. So that's one thing you could do. Again, you can compound, or I could just sell right away. Okay. So that's what you could do with earn fees. I love these buttons up here at the top. I could claim fees for all my positions all at once if I wanted to. It's already in my range of 8 cents. Nice. So it's already selling those fees at higher prices, which is what I wanted. Of course, I can use this to close all. If I want to close all my positions once, pull out everything and go, you can, instead of doing them individually, which I love that. Magica, are you saying that I can change my strategy all the time as the market changes? Why, yes, Magica, we are saying that. You can change that all you want, my friend. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. Present your screen. Okay, so LP into a volatile Daleman pool. We've been doing that. So we will just kind of keep going here for a second. We have, this is another community tool that I wanted to show you guys. The lp4fun.vercel.app made by old degen Metlex bug. It is linked in the Bootcamp resources. It's not linked in the actual app pools like Metlex is. But you can check the status of open positions. You select one or all of them. You can add multiple wallets. You can view a live ROI, or return on investment. It'll show you like what you've done when you've claimed fees, withdrawals, or whatever. And it will show you these amounts in SOL or whatever other token it is for that thing. It will not show you this in USDC unless you're using USDC. But like Metlex, it calculates in USDC value. LP for fund.vercel.app calculates in SOL. And this is an important distinction because the percentage on that ROI in SOL may be different than your profit percentage that shows in Metlex. Okay. So please keep that in mind when looking at this. So I'm going to keep going here. So right now we've got Geek Lads. This is linked in every pool. The profit and analysis tool by Geek Lad. I know I'm showing this, even though right now I know there's some issues with it. Geek Lad, I don't know if you want to comment on that at all, but it's you want to comment, Geek Lad?
Yeah, I got a pull request from another developer with some fixes, so I'm actually testing things out right now. So I should get that.
Okay.
Hopefully, if everything checks out, I'll get that fix deployed today.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, he's working on it, guys. But this is Geek Lad. While you're here, why don't you go ahead and since this is your baby, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah. So basically, you can provide your wallet address into the tool, and then it'll look at your entire wallet history, look at all your transactions, and then calculate your P&L both based in the base token as well as in USD. So you can kind of see the little picture of the app there. And I don't know if you can click on that HMC. Maybe we can zoom that a little bit. So you can see up at the top provides you an estimate on your points earned from fees, as well as your USD amount and fees. And then down below, you'll see each of the different base tokens. So probably for the majority of people, their positions are going to be in SOL, right? SOL is the base token. And then SOL is your quote token, not the base token. SOL is the quote token, and then the base token is the other token that you're providing liquidity for. And so you can see what your profitability is for SOL as your quote token. It'll show you your profit and loss and divergence loss, your net profit, your profit percentage in SOL. And then you can kind of see a little time series chart that shows how your profit has been doing over time. And then on the right side, you can see each of the individual base tokens that you provided liquidity against SOL with. And you can see what the total profit percentage is for each one of those tokens.
Yeah, like here you can see IO, a little bit of profit, Tube, not so much. And this one, it looks like somebody lost their ass on Snoopy.
Yep. So it's just a nice way to kind of track your profitability over time, and kind of, at a glance, you can see what your big winners are and your big losers. And you can also filter. So there's like a filter button there, and when you use the filter, you can filter out certain tokens. I do that because, like, I know in the past there were actually some issues with the API, and so the dollar amounts weren't correct. So like Survivor, I know, was one of those tokens, for instance. So I'll filter out Survivor from my P&L, and usually you can kind of tell that on the chart on the right side. You might see like a huge loss for something or a huge win for something, which is overstated or understated because of those problems with the API. So you can filter out those tokens if you want. Maybe you're only.
You can also filter by date.
Yes, you can filter by date as well. So yeah, if you know when those problems were, you could filter to look at only more recent transactions. There's some quick buttons to look at your profitability over the last day, last 7 months, over the last month. So,
well, and that's something like I think the point. There's a lot of DGens over there that like to go and say, okay, how am I doing today? Or how did I do for my whole week last week? You know, am
right.
I in total profit for the week? How did I do over the month? And so this is something that I would recommend once it's operating again, that you use this to kind of gauge yourself, right? Because it's like, how am I doing over time? Am I getting better? Hey, last week was better. Or the last 3 weeks, man, I've been increasing my profit consistently, or I've been getting the wins. That kind of indicator to you whether or not you're getting better at this.
Yeah. And there's also a toggle to display everything in USD. So by default, those charts at the bottom are displayed in terms of the quote token. So you could flip that switch, display everything in USD. This looks like a little bit of an older version, but since this version, I also added not only can you download CSV of all your transactions, but you can actually download a SQLite database. So if you're a data nerd like me and you know SQL, you can download a SQLite database that has all of your transactions, and you can do any sort of analysis you want to do on it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for that. We only got a little bit left. So I'm going to go ahead and show the graduation form for day 2 here. Go ahead and scan this code with your phone, or if you're on PC and you need to use Google Lens, you can use that. So here's what's important, guys. You need to open one new position as of today, April 6th, anytime between today and April 13th. So if you open it on the 7th or the 8th or the 9th, that's fine. If you opened it on April 5th or April 4th, it's not going to count. It needs to be one position. We're not going to count 2 positions. So maximum is 69 bins. If you're opening 2, we can only grade one of them. So just one. There needs to be a minimum $100 value of assets. This is really important, guys. It doesn't matter whether it's $100 worth of SOL, $100 worth of SOL and some other token. It could be USDC and some other token. It doesn't matter. The total value needs to be worth at least 100 USDC. Okay. So any combination there. Now, I do understand that maybe you're wanting to open a position, you're wanting to stack strategy. So let's say that you decided you wanted to put in $50 in a spot and $50 in a bid ask. If you get the 2 deposits in within like a minute or 2, that's going to be okay. We'll count that. But if, say, you deposited $50 and then 40 minutes later you added another $50, we're not going to count that. You need to start out with about $100 at least. You can do more if you want. That's okay. We don't allow stable pairs, and quite honestly, even if we did, it wouldn't matter. You're not likely to earn 5%. That's what you need to earn in profit. So liquid staking tokens, SOL and an LST, such as VSOL, LP Army SOL, Jupe SOL, these are correlated. They're considered stable. Don't use those. That's not going to count. You need to LP for at least 1 hour. So if you LP for 5 minutes and you withdraw, then it's not going to count. You need to go at least 1 hour. You can go longer, but it needs to be a minimum of 1 hour. Sorry, I lost my place. Okay. You must close that position before you submit. This is something that sometimes I see when I'm grading. People, they had a position, they opened it, everything looks beautiful. They submitted it and they didn't withdraw, they didn't close. They still got it open. That can't be graded. You must close your position. And again, you must have 5% profit, not just 5% in fees. This is really important. Again, we've been talking about impermanent loss this whole time. When you provide liquidity, impermanent loss is going to happen. This much is guaranteed, right? You need to overcome these losses by earning enough fees and get into profit. Okay. So here's a quick example. You put in $100. The price of the tokens drop down. So now your position is worth $90. But you earned $5 worth of fees. So that's $95, right? Well, you didn't earn 5% profit. You lost. Okay. You overcame your 10% loss with 5%. So you mitigated your losses, but you didn't make a profit. You would need to get enough fees to where the value is 105, if that makes sense. So now here's something, you know what? I'm going to address this right now. Entire market is crashing. You guys are talking about LP. What is this? Well, you know what? Liquidity providers can make money no matter what the market is doing. Even whenever a token dumps, you can still make money off of earning fees. Things don't have to pump in order for you to win. You know, when you're just trading and everything is dumping, yeah, maybe it's not so great. But that is one of the grand things about liquidity providing is you can still earn. So anyway, moving on to the graduation requirements. We don't allow the use of HawkFi or any other third-party managers. Those things they're perfectly fine in the regular world. We're wanting you to not use these for this because we want you to master the DLMM before you go and use these other tools. So for graduation, it's that. And Simran, you've come in and you've asked this question, how can we expand how to make money from crashing markets? I mean, really, you need to follow the rest of the course. We've been talking a lot about these things. So we're not really going to expand on that. We're almost at the end of today. So let's watch the rest of the course. The other thing that you need to do here is that you must complete both days of this course. So if you have no roles, you need to complete day one of this course. You must pass. You have to answer at least half of the questions, or 3 out of 4 questions correctly in order to get day one. If you don't, then you're not going to graduate at all. If you've got that bootcamp trainee, you passed day one on a previous bootcamp, you don't have to do that particular one again, but you have to have that before you can graduate this second one. So again, and guys, those forms are going to close at 6 p.m. UTC on April 13th. I'm not going to grade any forms until after these forms close. And then I usually get everything graded within a week and the roles issued on the Meteora Discord after that. So please be patient. If you come and ask me tomorrow, where's my role? I just finished. I'm going to know that you weren't paying attention to me right here, right now. I'm also going to know that you didn't read because all of this information is on that graduation form right there. So there we go. And now it's time for me to move to the next. Everybody should have done that by now. Scanned it. Okay, so I'm going to show you getting your transaction that you need for graduation. You can use SoulScan to do this. Enter your wallet at the top, do a search for it, and then come to DeFi activities right there. it's going to show you where you have been doing everything. Removing liquidity, adding liquidity, doing swaps. It show you right there. It makes it a whole lot easier to find than simply going through a massive list of transactions and trying to figure out what all that is. And then right here is where you copy this. We'll call this the signature or the transaction ID. It's two ways of saying the same thing. That's what you need to copy for where you opened or where you added or removed liquidity into your position. That's what you need to submit for graduation. And actually, I'm going to change screens and show you something right now. A little bit more about this, because I don't want people to get hung up when people submit bad information for their graduation. It's really sad. I don't like seeing it. So let me help you out here. Ooh, look at this nice pump on our stocks. Sweet. We're out of range. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I am going to go ahead and withdraw and close all of this. Actually, you know what? I want to show you something first. Don't do this. I'm going to show you don't do. Right here on my position, if I click on this, it's going to take me to SoulScan. As soon as it finishes loading. And here, this is showing me, yes, here's the signature. I can copy this. This is where I created that position, right? Do not copy this URL right here, because what this is showing me is a list of everything. And it's actually not, it's only showing one right now. But if I was to close this position, it would show up multiple things here. Please don't copy and submit this. If it says account in it, please don't submit that. The grader is not going to grade it. So don't do that. But you get that transaction ID, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close these. Close. Alex is making fun of me. Okay. So my wallet here, I'm going to get my wallet address from SoulScan. I'm going to drop that in there. We can see here, I'm going to go to DeFi activities. Here's my remove liquidity. I'm going to copy that signature. I'm going to go out to Metlex, to the P&L tab. I'll put that transaction ID right here. Click the rocket to go. And it's going to show me everything here. Now, I'll see my profit and loss percentage. This is what I want to see. Yes, I got 27, almost 28%. Woohoo. Lots of profit there. But I'm going to scroll down just a little bit to the Bootcamp checker. And you can see, okay, I'm not using Hawkfire or some other third party. Green. Initial deposit, X. Oh, no's. Why? Well, it's because I didn't put $100 worth in here. Okay, well, I've already failed there, but my P&L, that's good. And the total time, oh no, I've got a black an X there. Why? Well, because I did not LP for 1 hour. Okay, so you can use this to help guide you. Of course, you have to close the position in order for Metlex to calculate. If you put it in here for a position that's not closed, it's going to show you like negative 100% profit P&L. So again, close, check all these things before you submit. You can, here's another easy way to copy this. This is what you need for the form, the transaction or the signature. Do not submit this Metlex link right here. Don't submit this. It's not going to grade it. You'll be rejected. You won't pass if you submit a Metlex link. I want the transaction. And this is also something neat. You guys may have seen these around in some of the channels, post wins channels. A nice little P&L card, so I could see, I could show off my wins or my W's. I can download that and I can share. I can show it to my mom so she can be proud of me. I could show it to my date. Say, hey, baby, I got $3.90 to spend on you today. How about that? That's hot. Anyway, that's what you want to submit into the form for your graduation. Okay. So, yeah, glad my wife can actually hear me right now. So she's not amused, but it's all good because she knows I'm just making jokes. Okay. All right. So I'll talk really quick about the Dead DAO. It's another community out there that you can check out if you want. It's pretty chill. It's the original kind of sub-community formed on Meteora, the Dead LP Army, based off of fractionalized NFT. It's been community takeover. You can stake it out on the Stake2 platform. This QR code is a link to the Dead Discord if you want to check it out. So anyways, another option. And now we are here for questions. If you guys have questions, we are here for you. Of course, join our Discords if you haven't already, the Meteora Discord and the LP Army Discord. And actually right there is a QR code that'll lead you to the LP Army Discord. If you're not already a member, strongly recommend it. We talked about it during this course, especially of opportunities for finding LP opportunities, asking questions of other degens, finding alpha calls, all kinds of things. And immediately after this course, or a couple minutes, we are going to start up the Bootcamp stage in the LP Army Discord, where we will be there to answer any questions that you may have. You can ask in chat. If you need to ask in voice, we can bring you up and you can ask your questions. Anything about that we've covered in the last 2 days during this course, we are happy to be there for you. So please, any questions? And if there's any questions, we've got like 2 minutes left. I'm happy to, or other instructors, any of you guys, I'm actually going to add everybody up here just so you can see all these guys that have been here happily answering your questions for you today. I appreciate you guys coming out and helping. Thank you so much for everything that all of you do. Anybody want to know anything? Okay. What is dead cannot die? That is correct. Okay, all is clear. Alex, I'm glad that everything is clear to you. Maybe you'll pass graduation. Thank you, Carrot. Appreciate it. I know. Alex is like, dude, guys, so OG. Gotcha. Excuse me. On new token, whether criteria to move from 5% fees to 2% fees, printing more fees. You know, I like this question, and there's not enough time to answer it. Can you join over on the LP Army Discord and ask it there? I would love to answer that, but there's not enough time yet on this stream because it's a little bit complicated to answer. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get moved over there. I'm going to end the stream. Today's song is about the Dead community. It's an old song that I wrote. So thank you all for joining today. I hope you all graduate. Looking forward to talking to you guys soon.
Mercury explorer, fire in his eyes. Under the ice, he flies the prize. Long forgotten in the pools was more than gold or jewels. A hidden power deep within. His journey is about to begin. To shatter the token he must, and form an army from the dust. Now called the Great Janitor, he has become only the handler. Releasing the power inside, the dead army now arise. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead. We now spread, wearing the token of the dead. To Jupiter and beyond, the dead token is our bond. Forge ahead in the great booze, using the dead as our tools. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead, I am dead. Creating new images of power that echo till the final hour. We are the dead here and now, forever dead, this we avow. From the pieces the janitor shatters, the dead army is all that matters. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead, I am dead, I am dead. For this we are bred.